Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Maddie's Rap, the show where we rap about things that guys rap about when we're hanging out. Now, for those of you who have looked at the title of this video, you may be wondering how this is going to be a scripture edition. But if you saw my video on titled "Do Opposites Really Attract?" and you can click a link up in the, you'll see the link there if you're watching this on a phone or tablet. If you saw that video, Do Opposites Really Attract? You know that one of the underlying themes in that video is that I used the scripture reference of the Messiah going to go sit down and eat lunch or dinner or whatever it was, and a meal. He and his disciples went to go eat, and then these so-called publicans and sinners came to sit with them. And the underlying theme is that they came to sit with him because he's real. Now, I don't want to play spoiler. You can check the video out, whatever. But on that note, I want y'all to know that I'm real, all right? It's really easy for people to judge a book by the cover or say, hey, this person is this way or this person is that way because of this thing or that thing. But the reality is, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. I mean, hey, and on that note, I'm going to be jumping around a little bit today because this is a topic that let me just say that a situation popped off recently that kind of got under my skin a little bit. But you know that with everything, you have the power to be an alchemist and transmute that experience and turn it into something positive. So that is exactly what the purpose of this video is. This is transmuting a negative and turning it into a positive. And I want to say I thank the Most High for the opportunity to do this. So now, jumping around again, never judge a book by its cover. I'm Matt D. Talford, author of 2 award-winning books, From Fear to Faith, A Survivor Story, a story that tells you how, or a story that illustrates how mindset can help you to overcome the worst of circumstances. And in fact, I got a special treat for you guys. I'm going to be reading an excerpt of that book today as part of what we're talking about, how fear can cause you to up. Okay? Yeah, I said it. Now, and of course I'm gonna bleep, by the time you're watching this video, it'll be bleeped and censored just because I got a nephew who adores his Uncle Matt. And nephew, if you're watching this, you're not at an age yet where you can talk like that, okay? So let me find out from your mom or your grandma or uncle or whoever that you was trying to act exactly like Uncle Matt, and you and Uncle Matt gonna have to talk. All right. Now, anyway, the second book is oh, by the way, the first book, you can if you judge that book from the cover, you're gonna look and you see my smiling face on it, as you can see in the thumbnail here, and you say, oh wow. Well, when you read that book, you're gonna find out that not everything in it was smiles. Now, on the flip side, we got Stuck in an Elevator, a tale of passion and self-discovery that takes place high above the Los Angeles skyline. Again, another book that if you judge it by its cover, you may be surprised by the time you read it. So, but this is not to promote those 2 books. I just wanted again to reiterate the fact that I'm real. All right, I go through the full 4 seasons of emotions. Okay, I'll just call it that. And I'm a real person. So, and I wanted you guys to know that. So now, how fear can cause us to fuck up. Let me tell you what I'm going to be doing today. And I'm going to get right into it, and we're going to wrap this video up. By the way, I want you to, speaking of being real, listen, I'm going to be dropping truth as I do on my channel. And as you can see here, no righteous man is ever offended by truth. If the truth offends you, examine your heart. That's an original quote, as you can see. There we go. Sorry, these cameras with the reverse thing, they always get you moving around, whatever. Anyway, you can get this shirt at my website, www.talfordarts.com, and there'll be a link in the description box below. Listen, join the truth movement. Join the truth movement and let people know, listen, it's time to drive this darkness out of this planet. And the only way you're going to do it is with the light of truth. So listen, and no righteous man is ever offended by truth. So if the truth offends you, examine your heart. Now, again, www.talfordarts.com. So listen, today what we're going to be doing is I'm going to show you a couple of Bible verses. You guys know everything I do for the most part is scripture edition, and today's going to be no different. So don't let that F-bomb fool you. Now, listen, that's not a part of my regular vernacular, but when I'm a little bit heated, I'll let myself go, okay? And today I'm letting myself go. All right. So there's so what we're gonna do, we're going to use an Old Testament scripture out of the book of Job to illustrate this principle. And then I'm going to read an excerpt from my book, From Fear to Faith, a Survivor Story. You can get that at my website, and that information is below. It'll also be at the end of the video. It's also available at Amazon. Now, I'm going to read an excerpt from that to support how fear causes us to up, okay? And then I'm going to show you a sports example of how fear causes you to, okay? We're going to be talking, I'm going to be reading an excerpt from a 2015 article from the Seattle Times in which Pete Carroll's decision down on the goal line cost the Seattle Seahawks a Super Bowl, their second Super Bowl, and handed Tom Brady one that he probably wouldn't have won were it not for a fear-based decision. I'm going to read that article to you and illustrate that principle to you. Number 4, I'm going to show you an example of how of the Wizard of Oz and how we're talking about fear versus confidence. And then we're going to use a number 5, fifth and final thing we're going to do is I'm going to have a New Testament scripture that shows you how to prevent fear from knocking you off your purpose and your path. All right, so let's jump right into it, guys. I know that was a long introduction, but I kind of needed to get a little bit of stuff off my chest. And one more thing before I get into it. If I sound a little bit stuffy, you guys know that one of the last videos I published was, did you really catch a cold? Well, let me tell you something. Sometimes life will try you for dropping truth. But you know what? What happened for me, and I'm not going to make this video about that, but just quickly in a nutshell, 24 hours after I dropped that video, here comes my trial, okay? And what I did was I did exactly everything I talked about in that video. Mindset, okay? Mindset, all right? Hey, I didn't catch anything. I don't have anything. I'm not sick, okay? No, something out of the environment made its way in. I need to go within and ask my body, what do you need for me to help you drive this out? And that is exactly what I did. So what you're hearing right now is the aftermath, all right? You're hearing the aftermath. Anyway, but I'm good, I'm strong, I'm on my feet, I'm here. Now, let's get on with this. Old Testament reading today is going to come from the book of Job, chapter 3, verse 25. How fear can cause you to up, okay? Now, yeah, I said it, all right? And if some of you don't like that, listen, I'm not Joel Osteen, all right? I'm not Joel Osteen. This is my Bible. I am who it says I am. I can have what it says I can have. I can be who it says. Whatever, man. Listen, man. These dudes, you don't know what they do when they go home. You don't know how they talk when they go home. And you don't know how much money is getting stashed in bathroom walls in a church and being blamed on a, 7-year-old robbery? So somebody hid some money in there and they left it there. They forgot to come back and get it. Yo, I can take you to some cities around America right now and have you interview some real thieves, and they're gonna be like, nah, we won't do it like that. We won't do it like that. That money's already been flipped or whatever. So anyway, but I'm not here to throw no shade on him. He doing him. But I'm just saying, y'all, stop judging books by their covers, all right? I'm real. And today I'm not all that happy, all right? But I'm here. And I'm here to do this mission, and I'm transmuting a negative and turning it into a positive. So ride with me. Here we go. Job 3 and 25. Let's go there. For the thing which I greatly feared is come upon me, and that which I was afraid of is come unto me. How fear causes us up, okay? How fear does that. How does fear cause us to up, Matt, based on that scripture right there? I'm gonna give it to you up front. Normally I save this type of thing for the summary. I'm gonna give that to you up front, all right? What fear does is fear causes you to take actions. You think about it, you're afraid something might happen, so you take actions that you would normally not take were you not fearing something. You take actions that you would not normally take, and then those actions bring about the result that you feared. That is how fear causes us to go. Let's read that scripture again, all right? Let's read that scripture again. For the thing which I greatly feared is come upon me, and that which I was afraid of is come unto me. That is the what, all right? The how is the things that we fear can, if we continue to empower them with our conscious and subconscious thoughts and energy, everything is energy. When we transfer our energy into a fear-based thought, if we don't right the ship, it can cause us to take actions that bring about, these actions are things that we wouldn't normally do if we weren't afraid, okay? So these things cause us to take actions that end up walking us into the very trap that we were trying to avoid, based on fear, right? Okay, you know what? This scripture I was going to save to the end. I'm going to hit it now, and then I'm going to come back to it in the end. Let's jump. No, you know what? Let me stay on task. Let me stay on task. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. All right? So I just told you, I read a scripture for you. That thing which I feared has come upon me. Everybody knows that scripture. That's from Job. Job told you, hey, I feared this, and now it's here. What happens? We give energy to it with our conscious and subconscious thoughts. All right? You're super conscious. I talked about this in a blog post, I believe it was, talking about the 3 levels of consciousness. You got your conscious mind, your waking thoughts. You got your subconscious, what's going on internally, and then you got your superconscious, which is your higher self that knows all already. And your superconscious is trying to direct you and say, nah, you don't need to do it that way. But we program ourselves subconsciously with our conscious thoughts. That's why you always have to watch your thoughts. You always have to watch your thoughts, and you have to check them, all right? And you know what? I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to come back to it again. I said I wasn't going to do it. I said I was going to do it. I said I wasn't going to do it. I'm going to skip to number 5, and then we'll come back to number 5 again, because I'm moving around today, and I'm moving as the Spirit moves me, all right? New Testament example of how to prevent fear from knocking you off your purpose, all right? 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. For God hath not given us, or if you want to plug in the name for Yahweh, however you want to do it, had not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. Now, when you look that verse up in the concordance, it gives you a word. Let me pull that up real quick, y'all. We're gonna learn a few things here today. Let me look that up, because I looked that up in the Strong's Concordance. And I'll tell you what, it was mind-blowing when I saw what the original sound mind, okay? Well, God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Now, that sound mind, that is G4995. G means Greek, okay? When you see an H in Strong's Concordance, it means Hebrew. When you see a G, it means Greek, okay? The Greek word is sophronismos. I don't know if I said that right. Sophronismos, whatever. Okay, I don't speak Greek yet. I might learn it. It means discipline, that is self-control, sound mind, discipline. All right. Another word I read, another synonym was confidence. All right. But this says discipline, self-control. So he's giving us a sound mind, meaning discipline. You know what? I'm not going to be moved. Self-control means I see it. I'm not going to be moved. Confidence is I know who I am. I know how I'm built. All right. So you don't have to give in to fear when you know these things. But I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. So let me get back on task here. All right. I'm showing you how we allow fear to cause us to. All right. All right. And if that's offending y'all can turn the video off. All right. But it's so funny. Some of you will be like, oh, he said this, but you'll sit there and watch Eddie Murphy or Dave Chappelle or whatever doing live stand up where they dropping one after the other. Check yourselves. All right. No righteous man is ever offended by truth. If the truth offends you, examine your heart. All right. Now, let's get back on this. Let me read an excerpt from my book, From Fear to Faith, The Survivor's Story. It's been a while since I cracked this open. And, authors tend to not read too much of our own work, and I don't want to tell you guys exactly where this is, because this is one of the hidden gems. All right, I'm giving it away, but this is a so I can't tell you the location. But if you've read my books recently, you know what the hidden gems are. So let's see. Let's turn to page. This excerpt comes from the book From Fear to Faith: The Survivor's Story. All right, and if you see the tabs there, this is one of my original, this is a pre-production copy, so this is one where I was taking notes, all right? And also read my audiobook from this copy. But anyway, back on to the point here. This is titled Fear and Faith. Fear and faith are opposing forces that vibrate at different frequencies, one negative, the other positive, but use the same communication paths and possess similar ability to bring about the physical manifestation of things that exist only in concept or imagination. Belief in a negative outcome, fear, if unchecked, will eventually bring about the negative outcome that is imagined. Belief in a positive outcome, faith, if unabated, if not blocked, will eventually bring about the manifestation of the positive outcome that is imagined. Therefore, to walk in power, one must feed their positive imaginations with positive affirmations that proceed from his or her own lips. Speak and believe in positive outcomes. Dismiss negative thoughts and deflect or avoid negative sounds or vibrations, especially those that are contrary to something positive that you are trying to imagine or create. Encourage yourself. Embrace the positive affirmations of others, but don't seek or expect them. Be your own biggest cheerleader. All the world can pray for you and pull for you, but if you don't believe in the outcome that they are praying or pulling for, their prayers and wishes are wasted on you. Fear, you do not belong to me. Therefore, I refuse you, I reject you, and I dismiss you to return to your source. That's a quote. Mine. Move with grace from fear to faith, and remember the 7th verse of the 1st chapter of the Bible book, 2 Timothy. For God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. I sincerely wish you the best in all your righteous endeavors. Matt D. Talford. That was an excerpt from my book, From Fear to Faith, A Survivor Story. Why did I include that in the 2nd edition? For those of you that read the 1st edition, it wasn't in there. I wasn't doing hidden gems in the 1st edition of that book. But for those of you that are wondering why I put that in there, to not give away the story and just to kind of give you a synopsis, if I had feared let me tell you something. I got diagnosed with a rare and deadly form of the C word. It was an abdominal placement of a tumor in a very bad spot, okay, some 11 years ago. Actually, let's see, 2010. Yeah, it was 11 years ago that I started experiencing symptoms, and 10 years ago that I got diagnosed. So started experiencing symptoms in 2010, 2011, January, got hit with the diagnosis. Now, if I had allowed, I immediately began manifesting my end, because any great writer knows to write. I'll save that. That's going to be in my master class, right? I'll save that. But anyway, you have to set your mind on the outcome that you want and then walk toward it. You can't, who goes on a trip without knowing where they're going, right? You got to set your destination and then plot your course. And sometimes you might get bumped off course, but if you know what your destination is, it doesn't matter. You're eventually going to arrive there if you keep going, all right? So here I was manifesting a positive outcome. Hey, I'm going to recover from this and I'm going to be stronger than I was before I went in. And you got all these voices coming around you. Hey man, this person died from that. That person died. Hey man, hey, what are you doing? Are you going to the doctor? Are you listening to all this fear coming at me? So I had to just buckle down and go within and say, hey, I know what I want. I know what I'm going to get. I may not know how I'm going to get there, but I know what I'm going to get, and I'm going to do it because this is my end. Not what they're saying. This, I don't fear that. I don't fear that because that's not my end. My end is this. All right? That's From Fear to Faith, A Survivor Story. But again, had I feared them, I wouldn't be here talking to you guys 11 years later, 10 years later. I wouldn't be talking to you right now because fear would have brought about the manifestation of the very thing I was trying to avoid, or the very thing I wanted to avoid. All right? Fear would have activated it. You cannot allow yourself, fear can cause you to up. Let me keep going, all right? All right? Let's talk about Pete Carroll. Let's talk about Super Bowl. Somebody help me out. What Super Bowl number was that? Super Bowl Seattle versus, what was that? Seattle versus New England. Super Bowl 49, 2015. The Seattle Seahawks lost 28-24, all right? How fear can cause you to, all right? Watch this. So Pete Carroll is down let me read that article. Let me read that excerpt. So Pete Carroll, they're down 28-24. They're driving. All right. Marshawn Lynch darn near gets a touchdown. He gets tackled at the 1-yard line. All right. Second down now. You got second down. You got about 26 seconds left. 26 seconds left in the game. All right. So if you score here, you need a touchdown to win. But you score here, it's over for the Patriots. They cannot go back down the field and score in however much time is left. All right. So, and you also have one timeout. Second down, you're on the 1. All right. How fear can cause you to f up. All right. Let's do this. So Pete Carroll, I'm going to read this article. This was an article written in the Seattle Times by Bob Condotta. All right. He's a Seattle Times staff reporter, or at least was 6 years ago. Almost 7 years ago. Now, I'm going to jump to the middle of this article. All right. The Seahawks had second and goal at the 1 after Marshawn Lynch, a.k.a. Beast Mode, had been tackled just shy of the goal line on the previous play. Seattle had one timeout remaining. Carroll explained again that Seattle had decided to send in a personnel grouping with 3 receivers, 1 tight end, and Lynch as the Lynch run ended. All right. When New England then sent in its goal line package, Carroll said the Seahawks decided to call the pass, feeling it was a bad matchup to try to run against a New England defense set up to stop a run. Fear. Okay? And a quote from Pete Carroll, we could easily have gone otherwise, he said. But when they sent their goal line guys in, I know that we have the advantage on the matchups in the passing game. So let's throw it. It's okay. Carroll insisted he called the play, denying any suggestion that offensive coordinator Darrell Bevel initially called a run and the play was then changed. All right, so basically, I'm not going to read any more of that article. The moral of the story is that when he saw what they put in front of him, he said, oh, well, it's a bad matchup for us to try to run against a goal line defense. Dummy, that's what people do. They got big packages, okay, on offense. They got packages called big, all right? They got goal line packages where they say, hey, look, I don't care if you got your goal line defense in there, may the best man win. We got 1 yard to get. We got beast mode in the backfield. We going in here, okay? So Pete Carroll feared one of 2 things. Now, one of them is just my own speculation, and I shared this in my private circles with my boys that we talk sports with, but I'm going to do this with y'all today. You already saw from the article, Pete obviously feared that they could not get 1 yard on the ground against New England's deep goal line package that was set up to stop the run. So he didn't believe that his offense was good enough to get 1 yard against their goal line defense. So that's fear. You can call that, some people say, oh no, it's smart. It was fear. Why? Because it then caused him to take an action that resulted in the very thing that he feared was going to happen, which they were not going to score. So what do? You go up, you line up, you throw the ball. You can read on down further in the article where because they didn't run play action, they knew that they were going to throw it. So here's the thing: New England knew they were going to throw it when they got in that set. So they were like, hey, they're not going to run, they're going to throw. So they were ready for it. So the thing New England probably feared was that you were going to run that ball and get in the end zone. You had one timeout. You had 26 seconds left. If you didn't get that ball in the end zone with that 1 yard run, you could have tried something else after that. You could have gotten clever after that, but you didn't have the confidence. All right. Now that was clear. That was what was apparent from reading the article. What wasn't apparent, but this was my own thing. We knew that there was some issues with Marshawn Lynch because of the way his goings on were with the media. He didn't want to talk to the media. So Marshawn Lynch scores the game-winning touchdown. He's the MVP. Now he's got to talk to the media. What if Pete Carroll feared that Marshawn Lynch would get up there in front of the media and have to and make a mockery out of the organization? All right. Or what if the owners were like, hey, listen, if it comes down to it, let's make Russell the hero here and not Marshawn. Could have happened. I don't know. That's speculation. But what I'm saying is, if that is so, then again, another fear caused you to take out or carry out actions that resulted in the very thing that you feared happening, right? All right, let's keep it moving right along. Let's keep it moving right along. So, talking about how fear can cause you to F up, all right? Now, the Wizard of Oz. Let's look at the contrast, all right? Because we're going to show you how courage can produce the result that you desire, that you set your mind to, or the goal that you set out to do, how courage in the face of fear can help you to get exactly, or can catapult you exactly where it is that you set out to go in the beginning. Let's use the Wizard of Oz. Some of y'all know the story. A lot of you guys, if you're my age, you've seen cartoons and the actual movie with what's her name? Judy Garland. Okay. So you probably saw that movie if you're my age. I'm, in my 40s, well into my 40s. Anyway, the Wizard of Oz. Now, here you got these people. You got a cowardly lion, a tin man with no heart, and a straw man with no brain, or a scarecrow with no brain. Okay, so, and then you got a little girl and a dog who ain't vicious looking at all, and they're trying to get to go see the wizard because she wants to get back home. Okay, she ends up in tornado hits Kansas, and she ends up in this magical land called Oz, and she's like, I'm not from here, I got to get back home. So hey, the first people she meet, they say, hey, look, Oz is that way. You want to get there, just follow the yellow brick road. All right, just stay on the yellow brick road. Yellow brick, follow the money. Yellow brick, gold bars, follow the money. Story for another day. Anyway, stay on the path basically is what they told her. Follow the yellow brick road, stay on the path. Now, Dorothy knew that she had to trust in that word that said, hey, stay on the path if you want to get home. She didn't know that place. She didn't know Oz, so she couldn't go off the path. She said, these people, they feel like the right people. I'm going to stay on the path. So here you got all of these little minions that come out of the woods trying to scare them off the path. You got witches trying to scare them off the path. But their mindset was, I am going to stay on the path. And guess what? By their staying on the path, they got to the Emerald City and found out that the very one behind all of the fear tactics was putting up fear tactics because he's pretty frail himself. All right? So, but what if they had gotten off the path? Then she would have never gotten back home. But the moral of the story is, in accordance with what I'm talking about today, is she never feared that she wouldn't get back home. She knew she wanted to get home. She knew she was going to get home eventually. She just didn't know when it was going to happen or how it was going to happen. But she knew it was going to happen. See? God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. Love kept her on that path. Power and self-confidence kept her on that path. Discipline kept her on that path. She got home. And what she found out is all of those things that were trying to come at her, fear can only overtake you when you give into it. They never gave in to the fear, right? And what the others that were with her found out was, hey, they had courage. They had heart. They actually had a brain. They just were never put into a situation where they had to use it. All right. So now, listen. I beat 2 Timothy 1:7 up. I beat it up and down. How do you prevent fear from knocking you off your purpose? Know that it's not from Yah. Know that it's not from God. Know that it's not from the Most High. Know that it's not from the Creator. Know that it's not from Source. If we know that none of those names or monikers or variables that we use to describe the all-powerful energy, I like to call truth. I like to call him truth, because truth is undefeatable. It's indomitable. It's undefeated. Truth never has been defeated. It never will be defeated. That's why one truth can destroy a multitude of lies. Lies all stand and support each other. Truth can stand on its own. Truth is the table upon which the house of cards that are lies stand. You tell one lie, oop, you gotta tell another one, support that one. Oop, gotta tell another one, put one on top of that. Now you got a little house of lies. Then you gotta keep stacking lies on top of lies to cover the original lie. But guess what? You pull one, boom, they all come falling down. And guess what's left? That table never went anywhere, because that table is the truth. It's the platform. That's why they say lie on somebody. Oh, this person got lied on. They got lied on. They got lied on because the truth is what the lie sits on. You knock the lies away and the truth is left. That's why my mother used to tell us when we were kids, she said, you ain't never got to chase down no lie. Just keep living. Just keep living. Don't worry about what nobody says about you. Don't worry about what nobody thinks about you. Just keep living. The lie eventually is going to fall away. People are going to see you for who you are. She used to tell us the Messiah said, You will know them by their fruits, okay? You'll know a tree by its fruits. So somebody can lie on you. Hey man, that dude ain't no pear tree. Man, he an apple tree. All right, well guess what? It ain't the season hasn't come for the blossom yet. But when them flowers come, it's just a matter of time before you see what kind of fruit is on this tree. So call me an apple tree when I'm a pear tree. That's fine, that's cool. Whatever, I'm gonna keep on living. It's winter now, but when that spring come, and that warmth hit, and that perpetual sunshine hit on me, and that rain come, and them flowers start to bloom. Now you're gonna start getting concerned because you're like, whoa, man, we couldn't get them to cut down that tree, and ooh, them flowers showing up now, man. Oh, man, we gotta find a way to deflect. We gotta find a way to distract them because, man, if they looking at that tree when them flowers fall off and that fruit come, they gonna know it's a pear tree and not the apple tree we told everybody it was. My mother used to tell us keep living. And that's how I live my life right now. All right? So I'm gonna wrap this up, y'all. I illustrated to you how lies cause us to up. All right? Lies. No, I didn't say that right. How fear causes us to up. Stop fearing. Huh? How do you stop fearing? You replace that with the power of truth. When you know the truth does what? It makes you free. No righteous man is ever offended by truth. If the truth offends you, examine your heart. Y'all start looking for the truth, man. All right? Once you know the truth, there's no reason for you to fear. The only thing you could possibly fear is what somebody's going to think about you. All right? All right, I'm going to wrap this up. All right? I took some notes for myself. Many of y'all know exactly what you came here to do, but you refuse to get underway because you are worried what someone who is not you might think or say about you. Right? And yet and still, not a one of those persons whose opinions you are considering has a signature or even their name for that matter written or signed on your soul contract. And everybody got a soul contract. Check out the video on the link. You'll see it if you're on a phone or tablet, you'll see it pop up. If not, I'll put it in the description box below. Soul contracts, the life we chose before birth. That's the type of video I would never have not looked at years ago. But I give all praises to the Most High. He showed me that video in January of this year. Just 11 months ago, 12 months ago, I saw that video. And I had a lot of questions. About a lot of things that was going on in my life. And I wasn't even looking for that video. In fact, I would have scrolled past it if I had just seen the title. But the sister on the thumbnail was so cute. I was just like, all right, I gotta investigate this video, just see what she looked like if that's just a thumbnail, you know. Y'all know how we do, guys. Y'all know how we do. And so I'm watching the video for a completely different reason. And I'm like, because the subject matter didn't interest me. It sounded like some new age stuff. I was like, I wasn't into that. But I watched it and I was like, it awakened something in my spirit. I resonated with it. I found that it resonated with something inside of me. And I was like, okay, 2 and 2, that makes sense of this over here. Okay, and this principle right here, reincarnation, or some people call regeneration, is supported in scripture. But y'all don't know what you're looking for because you can't break your mind out of the doctrine. People lying to you, telling you you're gonna live one time and then you're gonna spend eternity in heaven or hell. What the angels are there and they doing a job. What you gonna do when you get there? You gonna sit up and chill? No, you got a mission. We come into life to fulfill missions, and then we exit, and we get graded on how we fulfilled our mission. Did we do it? Like in the Army, do we get a go or a no go? Okay. Did we? And then if you gotta go, did you hurt anybody while you were in route to fulfilling or accomplishing your mission? Did you hurt anybody? Because if you did, you got to pay for that. That's karma, as some people call it. The scripture says, be not deceived, God is not mocked. Whatsoever man sows, that will he also reap. One word, karma. So did you create any karma en route to your trying to fulfill your mission? Because some of us don't even fulfill those missions, and we got to come back and do it all over again. Go watch that movie Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise, 2014 movie Edge of Tomorrow. Hollywood knows these things, and they hide it in these movies, but we're so entertained we don't even know what we're looking at, right? All right, let me wrap this on up. Some of y'all know exactly what you came here to do, but you're worried about what somebody gonna think or say about you. And their name ain't on your soul contract. So if you fail because you don't even set out to do what you came here to do, for fear of what somebody's gonna say about you, guess what? You're gonna have to do it again. You're going to have to come back here and repeat it again. Right? Not one of those persons is on your soul contract. That's yours. Those of you in real estate, you know what I'm talking about. You got a real estate contract. You got people, all kind of people advising somebody on what they should do. And the only person they need to be working with is their agent. Their agent's name and signatures on that contract. And then you, the buyer or the seller, your name's on that contract. But you listen to other people outside that ain't got nothing to do with it. And they cause you to F up your own real estate transaction. And either get something you didn't want, or, you know what, this ain't about real estate. You know what you came here to do. And if you don't know it yet, it's probably because you're not ready and are still being built. Watch this. David, the Israelite king, David, he was in the fields tending to his flock and did not know. He didn't know when he was in the field tending to his flock, he didn't know that his courage was being built and strengthened for the purpose of facing off against a giant. All he knew was, hey, I got to defend these sheep. I can't let this lion get my sheep. I can't lose one single sheep. Otherwise, I'm worthless. My job is to be a shepherd over this flock. I can't lose one of them. I can't let one go off astray. I can't lose one to a coyote, to a wolf, to a whatever. In David's case, as according to scripture, it was a bear and a lion. All right. So he didn't know that he was being built for the purpose of squaring off against a giant. So he didn't know that. So he couldn't go and fulfill his mission because he didn't know it. He wasn't ready yet. He was still being built. He had to know how to kill something bigger than him. He had to build, and in learning how to kill something bigger than him, it gave him the courage and confidence in his abilities with that. You know what I'm saying? That sling. You know what I'm saying? So now that built his confidence. So by the time he had to square up against that giant, he's like, man, I done did this before. Y'all scared of this dude? Wait a minute, y'all trained soldiers. Y'all scared? I don't even do that. I don't even fight. I just take care of animals. Right? He didn't know that he was being built to square off against a giant or to rule a kingdom. But when the time arrived for him to step into his purpose, he understood his assignment and did not stop to ask anyone what they thought about what he wanted to do. Hey man, y'all think I should go try this giant, man? No. He said, hey, look, who is this man that's challenging our God? And y'all scared? I'll go take him on. Here, take this sword. Man, he couldn't even hold the equipment. That's how small and frail he was. He's like, look, I can't mess with none of that, man. All I know how to use is this sling right here. All I know how to do is use this sling. And if you put a coin up in that tree up there, 50 feet up in the air on a limb, I'll knock it off with one shot. All I know how to use is this sling. He didn't ask anybody what they thought about what he wanted to do. When he was anointed king, he didn't ask anybody what they thought. Well, y'all think I should do it? Man, y'all think? No. He understood his assignment because when it was given to him, when he recognized what his purpose was, he was already ready. And he didn't stop to ask nobody's opinion. He stepped into it, all right? If you don't know your purpose, it's because you're not ready to step into it and you're still being built. But once you know your purpose, it's on you to get on it. That's your contract. That's what you were sent here to do, all right? Your purpose, not anybody else's. That's not their purpose, that's yours. So don't ask them, all right? Once your purpose, which is the nature of your soul's contract for your time in this body, is revealed to you, you either step into it or be found in breach of contract when you check out of here. Now ask yourself, how many do-overs do you think the Most High is going to grant you before he labels you dysfunctional, all right? And then redirects your energy to the realm of unusable parts. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you may want to read the book of Enoch. That's another one of them that the powers that be said didn't belong in the Bible. This is why I don't like to even say Bible anymore, because the Bible is just a portion of the scriptures. There were more scriptures written that some controlling authorities decided didn't need to go into what they would label and rebrand the Bible. The Bible's only a part of the scriptures. It's not all of them, all right? So if you don't know what I'm talking about, go read the book of Enoch, and then you'll know what the Most High did with the planets and the stars that didn't function the way he wanted them to. Energies. We say energy is neither created nor destroyed, it just is. Guess what? He can lock that energy up in a realm where it can't get out, all right? Find out what he did with them dysfunctional stars, them dysfunctional planets. Read the book of Enoch. Find out where they're at. They're not in the sky. You don't see them at night. So how many do-overs do you think he's going to give your energy before he labels you dysfunctional? If you signed up to do something, do it. Just do it. And stop asking other people for their opinion. This video went a little longer than I wanted it to, but I guess it went as long as it needed to. So if you guys have stuck around here for the whole 40 plus minutes, I appreciate you. I'm not going to belabor this anymore. Guys, listen, don't allow fear to cause you to up, all right? And the only way that can happen is that you allow fear to cause you to carry out actions that result in the very thing that you feared happening. These are things that we don't do when we're not afraid, all right? They're things we don't do when we're not afraid. So when you feel fear come upon you, tell it doesn't have any place here. Read that excerpt from Fear to Faith, a Survivor Story. Read that excerpt that I just read, or go back to that part in the video. All right. I don't know. Maybe I'll throw a chapter there for you so you can just click right in it from the description and just read it over and over again. Thank you for watching. I hope this video helped you. For those of you that were offended by my word choice today, sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I'm being real. I'm being real. And if I can't be real with you, then that's another t-shirt. I'll wear that. That'll probably be on my site too. I won't give that away. Thank you guys for watching. I know this video had a different tenor to it, but it needed to be said. Thank you. And may the Spirit of the Most High continue to bless you in accordance with your righteous works. May He bless you richly. May He bless you richly in accordance with your deeds and your thoughts. Okay, so if they're good, may He bless you accordingly. If they're to do harm or to do evil, may He give you what comes with that. I love you guys, man. Tell somebody you love them and mean it. How do you mean it? You show it. Take care. Peace.